All right. Hi, you guys. I'm really excited about tonight. I know it's a little bit different. We don't like have anybody speaking about one certain topic, but I know there's been a lot of questions going around, just about different things and clarification. And I want to make sure everybody is on the same page and feels prepared headed into the summer and into really what we do this summer is going to set us up for a really great fall and winter. And that's usually when things pick up is in the fall and winter. Summer's hard because everybody's traveling, which we can really hit Beachbody on demand and really, share that with people and how you can take it with you on the go. And I love that even like I was talking to one of my challengers a couple days ago who she's like, well, I don't know if I can do the challenge group or stay up with things because I'm going to be up in my cabin and I have no reception. I'm like, well, you can download a bunch of your workouts now. Now they like made it so I think you can even do more than 7. So I was like, you don't even have to worry about that. You can take it with you. And she was so excited about that. So I think that as we share that with people, it's going to take away a lot of excuses and it'll be a really great thing for people as they head into the summer and traveling and all that stuff. So Summit is 1 month away. So I was thinking about that. I am getting on a plane 1 month from tomorrow to head to New Orleans. And I am just like so excited to see so many of you. We'll miss those of you that aren't there, but you will get updates on the team page about what's going on. So you won't feel like you're totally missing out. So I am really excited about Summit. I think it's going to be a blast. So that's that. And then also I've been wanting to do this for a while, but this goes along the line of announcements. It's been on my mind and on my heart. I am not a huge fan of the new coach training that we did. And I've talked with the other girls about this and they totally understand. Because I feel like it kind of distances people from the personability of what we do. And so I'm in the process right now of creating Team Elevate's new coach training. I will be doing all the videos or I will be intermitting them with posts so that we can really feel connected as a team, that you can send people not to 4 different coaches that they may know nothing about or to just seeing one little post that has all of our faces on it and then they do the checklist by themselves and don't see our faces again. To me, that takes away the personability of it. And I have not been a fan of it. I've had several coaches go through it and it's been confusing and not personable, and that's not okay with me. So I'm in the process of recording videos. I had a really lofty goal of doing it by July 1st, but I think it's going to have to be August 1st. So just know that that's coming, and I will share that with you, announce that to you. And eventually I'd like to really, involve our team and really being involved in those training videos too. I'm going to set something up initially and then we'll kind of come together on it more too. So I'm really excited about that. So we have that to look forward to. And then the last kind of announcement that I have was one that just came to my brain while I was talking and now it just went out the window. It was an extra one. I know what it was. So another thing I've been talking about doing for a long time is doing our own Team Elevate Empire coach sneak peek. I'd like to do that in July, right after Summit, because I know that a lot of us are going to be on social media. Even if you're not going to be at Summit, you should be talking about what's happening and how you wish you were there. And next year you're going to be there, talk it up, share with people. There's going to be so many announcements. And I think it's going to be a great time to share with people about what coaching is all about and all these amazing perks that you get with being a coach. So I'd like to plan on doing our own very new intro, like sneak peek into coaching in July, that 3rd week of July. So just plan on that. I'll be talking about that coming up, but I'm really excited about that. And I'd like to get those of you that are Emerald and above to, at that point, to do videos that would explain, different parts of the coaching process too. So if you're not Emerald yet, shoot for that date so you can be a part of the videos. It's not that you can't be a part of it if you're not Emerald, but we usually have Emerald coaches and above do the videos for that. So that's going to be exciting. Okay, so on to kind of the meat of the call, our little Q&A. I'm calling it all your questions answered. The first thing that I want to talk about, I know that we always have so many questions about what do I do when I get objections? And what I can tell you is my first year in the business, this really unnerved me as a coach when people would say no, or they say it's too expensive, or this or that. And what I've come to realize in the last year of being a coach is that those objections come from something inside of them that's a misunderstanding about what the product is or what we do, or it's an insecurity that they have or a personal issue that they are dealing with. So the very first thing before I talk about how I respond to objections, the very first thing that I want to share with you is that, am I pinned on the post on the video? No? Hold on. Let me see if, just a second. I can't remember how to do this. I always forget how to do this part. Here, sorry guys. There we go. Okay, that's it. Okay. So I wanted, the very first thing before we talk about objections is I just want to encourage you, when you get objections, to distance yourself from the objection, in the sense of it has nothing to do with you. They might make it sound like it has something to do with you, but it really has nothing to do with you. And what I've learned in the last year of being a coach, my first year, objections made me like want to throw up and cry and felt like everybody was attacking me. But now what I have come to see is that I know our products work. I can stand in confidence of that. My results show that. Your results show that. And so I don't feel bad anymore saying to people, I understand why you would feel that way. Let me share this with you, and then you can make your own decision based off of that. So that's really what we have when you're facing objections. Remember that you have to have confidence in the product, in Beachbody, in our team, in yourself, and what you do and your results. And if you feel insecure, I would take a second and really look at the results that you've gotten and remind yourself of the quality of what we have. So when I respond to objections, I use kind of a threefold approach to it. The objection, when it comes to objections, first of all, when someone says to you, for example, Shakeology, I think Shakeology is expensive and overpriced. Okay, the first thing that I do, number one, is acknowledge what they're saying. Okay, that's the most important thing. I hear what you're saying. I totally get it. I felt that way too. And then what I do with that is I say, this is how I'd like to share with you how I've kind of thought through that, and then you can make your own decision based off of that. But the first thing you want to do is acknowledge how they feel. Okay, another approach you could take is, I felt that way too. I totally understand. When I first saw the price, I thought that it was way too much money, but this is what it has done for me and why it is not at all expensive in my mind anymore. So acknowledge how they're feeling. And then I got this recently from the book, Get Over Your Damn Self. I posted it in the team page. But then she talks about how you should always respond to objections with asking a question. And so I think that that's a really great tool to use, because you can always finish up the conversation with, or, keep it brief on these, with the objection stuff, but you can always ask them, say, what's holding you back from feeling like you would like to even try it if it's a money back guarantee? Something, obviously you can word it in a little bit of a better, but ask them a question of what's holding you back if you didn't have anything to lose from trying it out. Or how much money do you spend on your grocery budget a month? If this could replace a meal, would that help you? Ask questions, or just simply, ask them really what about the price is too much for you? Is it your grocery budget? Is it having to cut out other things? Or is it because you're just afraid to give it a try? Just asking them questions. And then if it's appropriate, sometimes with people, I explain. That's the third thing. I ask, I acknowledge, I ask, and then I explain. Like for me with the Shakeology objection, I have this posted in the Team Elevate page. I literally shoot back this thing that I prepared in my first year as a coach that says, I get it. I totally understand. I was there too. My husband thought it was too expensive. And this is how we sat down and looked at it. If you look at it, it's less than it would cost us to make a meal for myself every single day. It's less than, it's my multivitamin. So I don't have to buy a multivitamin anymore. For me, I don't have to be on depression medication anymore. So that subtracts that cost a month from it. For me, I'm not having to buy all these different tons of vegetables to throw in all my smoothies. It's all right there for me. And so I kind of lay it out, and you can check mine out. I kind of lay it out for them and just say, I'd love to share with you how I process through it. So you can kind of, get a view of how I have done that myself, because I had the same objection. So you can look at that in Team Elevate. It's I think Shakeology objection or something like that, how I respond. So that's kind of what I do. I kind of play off that. Feel free to tweak it, make it your own, and use it. It's the same thing with, working any objection that comes up. You can really talk to people and, acknowledge what they're saying, ask them a question, and then when they respond, or if it's appropriate in that first email, explain to them how you've worked through it. So that's really how I respond to objections. A while ago, Kinsey and Sarah and Carly and I created some documents that there are 4 documents containing hey girl messages, objections, how to invite to the coaching process. And I was trying to find those in the file section, and I think it might have been in a separate group of some sort that we did. So we created those. So I'm going to try to find those and upload those so that you can also have their responses too, because we each went through and contributed how we respond to each section. So you can see from 4 different coaches' perspectives of how we respond to things, whether it be hey girl messages or objections and all that stuff. So I'm going to find those and repost those in the Team Elevate page. So that's objections. Does anybody have any questions about objections while we're kind of on that topic? Does that help a little bit? Yeah, okay. And if you think of something, just write it down, and I'll kind of, after each little bullet thing, I'll ask if you have questions or whatever. If you think of it at the end, then you can throw it out there too. So. Okay, then another question that I got was, how do I plan out my month or plan out my posts? And I made a post in Team Elevate a while back about how I plan out my month. I posted my calendar. The very first thing that I do, I always plan out when my challenge groups are going to be, 3 or 4 months in advance. So I know that I'm going to be running a challenge group that started this Monday. I'm going to be running it for the next 3 weeks, have an in-between week, and then I'm going to start my next group after that 4th week. And I have my groups planned out. I tend to know what the theme is going to be. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about this. The reason why is because Kelly Jimenez asked me to co-host with her on the Team Hard Hitters call on Thursday, which we're going to be talking about how to run challenge groups and plan challenge groups. So that'll be really helpful. So if you're not on Team Hard Hitters, let me know and I'll add you. But that should be really helpful. And she and I are going to talk more in detail about how we run our groups, because we do a lot of groups together, and how we plan our posting and all that stuff for challenge groups. But as far as planning my month for regular posts, I think that was one of the questions that I got from you guys. I plan my month first off based off of my goals, which is why I ask everybody to write down their goals in the team page at the beginning of the month. Because if you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to plan, right? So I always make sure that I do certain things every single month, that I plan out certain things, and then, which I'll tell you in just a second. If you have not gone through the social media training, you need to go through it, because that explains exactly how I try to base my posting life. I don't post those exact same things every week, but it gives you ideas that that's where I'm really coming from. That's how I make my posts. I try to think of motivational things. I try to post about my workout, about food, about Transformation Thursday or Tuesday, things like that, that really, they're consistent, but they offer variety to people on my newsfeed. So really what I do, I try to make sure that I do at least 4 to call to action posts a month. I make sure that I try to do 4 transformation posts a month, not necessarily me. Maybe it could be one of my challengers. Maybe it could be one of our fellow coaches. I do at least 4 of all of these. I do at least 2 to 3 coaching call to actions, or sharing what I do as a coach specifically. And then I make sure that I'm posting 2 to 5 times a day on social media. And to me, that has worked very well to get my face out there to people, to be on people's news feeds, to share my life in a way that I don't feel like is bombarding people, because I try not to post about Beachbody every 2 seconds. Try to make maybe 1 post a day about my workout or something I'm doing, or my food, or, a call to action, but I try to make most of it about my life. I also plan, whenever I do a transformation post or a call to action post, to, before that, make sure that I do some kind of a post that's going to boost my affinity with people, which I posted about the team page last week, which means that you are helping your post be seen by more people by posting something that will invoke a response from people. So it's, like today, yesterday I asked people about appropriate chores for a 4-year-old, nothing to do with Beachbody. And everybody loves to give their opinion. Right? Like, everybody likes to say what they think about something. So today I was like, oh, that was really good. But I had another question. I was like, well, I wanted to ask about, how do you give an allowance for, the 4-year-old that does chores? How do you do that? And I already kind of have an idea of how I'd like to do it, but I knew I'd get a ton of responses for it, because I want to post a post later tonight about a transformation photo. So that's kind of what I do. I always make sure whenever I make a post that I want a lot of people to see, 2 to 5 hours before I post that transformation or call to action post that I'm doing some kind of a post that would boost my affinity. So that's kind of how I plan my month, as in terms of like what posts I do. And my other post is just about my life, about my kids, and about going to the dentist, and, you know, about pregnancy, and things that probably bore a lot of people, but some people will be like, oh, that's catchy. You know, like I'm like trying to speak to my audience and just share my life and be authentic. So that's kind of how I plan my month. And like the challenge group stuff, how I plan for challenge groups, we'll talk about that on Team Hard Hitters too. So does anybody have any questions about that, about planning, or any other questions about that? No? Okay, good. Okay, and then another question that I had gotten on there was about the Coach Online office, which I posted a video about that the other day, what you should be checking, how you can check it, all that stuff. So I hope that video was helpful. I'm not going to go over that now because I tried to do that in that video so that you could refer back to it and share it with your new coaches as they jump in too. Just, you know, because it's a great question. Like, what should I be checking? How should I be checking this? And a coach voice memo me the other day and was like, well, I don't know how often I'm supposed to be checking this. And I was like, well, let me share I'll share what I do in that video too. So hopefully that was helpful. Okay. Feel free to just like yell at me if you have questions. Okay. I'm going to move on to the last couple things that I have. The first one is coach placement. Okay. So I've had a lot of questions lately because we have a lot of new coaches, and this is great. And I want to make sure everybody understands this. So where you place your coaches is important in helping you get team volume. So especially as you become an Emerald coach and higher, Diamond coach and higher, and build your team underneath you, what you're going to find is that you want to be strategic about where you place your coaches. When you are a new coach, you hit Emerald by adding 2 coaches, one on your right leg, one on your left leg. And Beachbody makes it easy for you that very first time. You don't have to do anything. They just put your first coach, they put your first coach on one leg, your second coach on the other leg. So when I first joined Beachbody, I had no idea what a strong leg was, what a weak leg was. I had no idea about any of that stuff. So I was like very, very confused about all of it. And there's a part of me, honestly, that's still slightly confused about all of it. I feel like it takes a while to really figure out, but I think I have it figured out now. So if you have questions about if you're on a strong leg or a weak leg, let me know. I was placed when I was a coach, just so happens I was placed on a weak leg, which means that I get no trickle down volume basically from any coaches above me. That means that I have built everything that I have, I've built from ground zero, basically, from the team, from everything. So, and it's possible to do this and to have a great business. Lindsay Madway, who has been a top 10 coach for many, many years. She's amazing. She had no upline. So she had no upline support, no upline volume, and she has built an incredible team. So, but it does take a little bit of harder work. I heard of a coach who wasn't really running her business, but because of where she was placed underneath someone else, she was earning 6 figures as a 1-star diamond coach. I was like, what? I didn't even know that was a possibility. But you know what? It's okay, because I'm in this to help people and to earn an income, but I'm not in it to, I feel like the harder that I work, the more I understand and more exciting it is, because I see that hard work really pays off. So I know you're going to hear things as you continue your coaching journey about people that, hit it fast and hit the business running and all this stuff. But really, truly, honestly, I think that the beauty is found in hard work, and that hard work will pay off. And I can tell you I'm seeing that for sure. So when you place coaches, you are going to want to balance both of your legs out. It feels so weird talking about legs. You're going to want to balance both of your legs out so that you are getting the most volume off of each leg in your cycling. So I am on a weak leg, okay, but my strong leg is my right leg. So when I was placing coaches in the very beginning, I put Tim on my right leg, my husband, and he's not really a coach. I mean, he's a coach. And I put Tim on my right leg because I didn't know that was a strong leg. I didn't know anything about that. So what I found is I wish I would have put him on my weak leg, because then if I could, when I turn 2-star, I could open my second CBC underneath him. So anyways, all that to say, as you go along, if you have questions about placement, please message me. I would love to help you figure it out. We'll brainstorm together on where to place coaches, especially if you think you're going to have oh, Bridie, she's so sweet. Baby fever. If you have a coach that you know is really going to work the business, call me before you sign them up so you can strategize how to set them and where to place them, where would be the best place to place them. If you're going to sign up a spouse or a parent, someone that you're going to also, an account that you're also going to control, message me and I will talk to you about where to place that coach too, because I wish someone had done that with me, because I would have done things much differently. So, and it's all worked out great. God is good, but it's just been a little bit of a learning curve. So I'd love to make it easier for you in that. So I'll do a video later about team cycle volume and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into that right here because it's very detailed, but I'll do that soon so you guys can kind of understand that. If you're wondering how to place coaches, I'm going to show you. I'm going to move into the portion of our call where I'm going to show you how to do the coach placement, and I'm going to screen share with you and talk to you a little bit about Elite, and then we'll finish up the call with some questions. Hi Heather, hi Katie. I haven't said hi to either of you yet, even though I've seen your faces. Hi. Excuse me. Okay, so let me screen share with you. You guys, you should feel really special because I cleaned up my desktop for all of you. It was a disaster. I was like, I cannot let them see all this. I mean, it looked like something had thrown up on my screen. It was like everything was everywhere. Okay, where am I? Okay, so when you are placing a coach, you go to My Business, My Preferred Placement. Okay, and that's where you click. So I keep mine, at first it's going to put, I think for most people, when you first start coaching, they do automatic placement. Okay, so you would want to switch it and do set preferred placement. The first two coaches, like I said, Beachbody will alternate them. But if you are curious about, if you want to try to strategize how you place those first two coaches, like I said, please feel free to message me and we'll figure it out together. Right now, I have my position set to the left because, like I said, my right leg is my strong leg. So any coaches that I sign from now on out, for the next little bit, I need to put on my weaker leg so I can balance out and maximize my team cycle volume and bonuses. So I have it all set to left right now because that's where I need people to go. So that's how you find preferred placement. Okay. Any questions about that?
Yeah.
Who said yes?
I did.
Okay, ask away.
So is it like 1 for 1 on each leg? Like you're balancing 1 for 1. Like if you have 5 on your right, you're looking to balance and have 5 on your left?
Yeah, yes and no. Until you get to diamond, yes, for sure. Yeah. So when I was strategizing to get to diamond, I definitely, here, I'll come back in a second. I definitely was just trying to find one coach that I knew would be a working coach on one leg, like for sure be a working coach on one leg. One coach that when I say working coach, I mean someone who I know would push towards emerald on each leg. And then I kind of alternated where I put coaches from there on out so that I would have, 4 coaches on each leg, one of those being emerald to hit diamond. But what I'm going to tell you is that a lot of people make this mistake when they're shooting for diamond. They're like, oh, yes, I hit it, 4 coaches on each side. But all it takes is 1 week for one of these coaches to go inactive and you drop diamond, right? So what I did, and I've lost diamond once, but it was after I'd been diamond for like 8 months, and it was like literally, I'm not kidding, I had like 10 coaches on each leg, but I had like 5 coaches go inactive at once. It was the weirdest situation ever. And one of them, it was like 2 of them went active, and then I lost both emeralds at the same week, and then everybody got it back right away, but it was like very weird. So what I'm trying to say is you kind of fall in and out of rank a lot, but the way to avoid that is to always be adding coaches to your team and kind of making sure that you feel like safer on each side. And just know that it happens to everybody. I've not once talked to a coach that hasn't lost. Well, there's been one coach I've talked to that has never lost diamond, especially in the first couple of months. I say it was rare that I didn't lose it until quite a while later because I was like, I don't want to lose it. So I was like really, really focusing on recruiting. So I would say until you get to diamond, yes, make sure that you really kind of balance it out. If you have a spouse or a parent or whatever on one of those legs that you can control, obviously you would maybe at some point after you have coaches on both sides, put a couple of coaches underneath that person to help them get to Emerald. But that's not really someone you can depend on either, because like that's what I did to get to Diamond at first. I signed coaches under Tim, and then those coaches were mostly discount coaches because they weren't really working the business. And then he dropped Emerald, and I was panicked about how to keep that. But I had one other coach who just hit Emerald, and anyways, so all that to say, focus on recruiting. Until you get to Diamond, definitely just alternate and place those coaches that are going to work the business strategically on either side. Does that make sense? That's a good question. Anybody else think of something? Okay. All right. So, and like I said, feel free to jump in. So that was preferred placement. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Elite. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this for a while. Okay, I really want this to be interactive, you guys. If you have questions, please stop me in the middle of it, because I don't want you to wait till the end of when I'm talking and be like, wait a second. So if you have a question, please stop and say, hey, can you explain that or re-explain it or all that stuff? Okay, so first of all, what is an elite team? Where is Elite 2? Okay, so this is the FAQ about Elite. They kind of just changed, they just changed the Elite qualification slightly. It's not a big difference. It actually makes it a little bit easier to hit Elite, even though it's very difficult. So basically, the Elite program, it's a program designed to reward coaches for developing your business year after year. So the top coaches that you see that keep hitting Elite over and over again, that's pretty amazing, because they're having to beat what they did the year before. So Melanie Mitro, who's been the #1 top coach for I think 2 years, she's been in the top 10 for a long time. But the fact that she's been #1 for 2 years in a row is amazing, because she's having to beat what she did the year before in order to stay elite, which is out of control. I mean, that's amazing what she's doing. So how to qualify for elite. To qualify, coaches must complete the following between, the calendar year, the 2017 calendar year. Number 1, you have to earn 135 elite points, which I'll break those down for you. Be a paid 5-star diamond or higher at least once in December 2017. You have to advance at least 2 personally sponsored coaches to a paid rank of diamond for the first time in 2017. And they have to be paid diamond at least once in December 2017. So let's say that someone advances to diamond in August, but then in December they're not diamond, and you only have 4 diamonds. You would not qualify for elite. They have to be a paid diamond at least once in December as well. Okay. So, and then I'm going to explain to you how to earn the elite points in just a second. So the cool thing about being elite is you get so many great things from Beachbody. They really treat their elite coaches amazingly. At Summit, they have these great receptions. You can go to the leadership. There's the leadership conference you can go to when you're 5-star and above, but then they have special things for the elite coaches. You get really cool swag. You get to be a part. If you ever wonder how coaches get to be a part of the Shift Shop test group and all that stuff, those are pooled from elite and sometimes premier coaches. I'll explain Premier in just a second. And they also, you get special seating at Summit. You get recognized at Summit. You get special parties on any of the Beachbody events that you go to, whether it's the cruise or whatever it may be. And it's like VIP status in the company. They really recognize and work with the elite coaches, and they will help you do whatever they can for you. Plus the customer service for elite coaches gets a lot better. Okay, so the difference between elite and premier. So for premier, you still have to meet all the requirements for points and everything, but you have to be at least a paid 2-star diamond in December. So you don't get as many perks, but you still get perks for being premier. Okay, so I'm going to keep this up right here, but I'm going to take you over to explain the point system. I'm going to take you over to a different page, and if you want to keep track of your points, this would be a great place to do it eventually. So there are 4 ways to earn elite points. Okay, so this is called, if you type into the FAQs, the 2017 Elite Goal Guide, this will pop up. Okay, or actually, I think I got it from, if you type in elite, I just typed in elite 2018, and then I got the form from right here. I have it downloaded on my computer, but I want to make sure I shared with you how you could find it. There's also a great video of how to use the goal guide and calendar on there too. So, okay. So we already talked about the requirements. Let's talk about how you break down the points, and then I'll take you over to my elite point page, and so I can share with you how that kind of works. Okay, so category number 1, you can earn a maximum of 50 points in this category, and then you have to have a minimum of 30 points for this to count. So you earn 1 elite point every time one of your 2016 or 2017 personally sponsored coaches qualifies for Success Club. If you are also in Success Club that month, those elite points, they double for the month. So if you have 2 coaches qualify, 2 of your 2016, 2017 coaches qualify for Success Club in January, like it says, and you get 2 points because 1 point per person. If you also qualify for Success Club, then they double that. Okay. So last month, I think I had 6 coaches hit Success Club 5 or above. So, and I also hit Success Club 5. So that means that I got, in that category, I got 12 elite points because I had 6 coaches hit Success Club. Does that make sense? So in that category, just for last month, so for the month of May for me, I got 12 points in just that category. Okay, so, and I'll take you over and show you how this works on my page in just a second. So that's how the first category works. And like I said, you max out at 50 points, but you have to have at least 30 in this category towards your elite points. Remember, you have to have a total of 135 elite points to be elite, and also have the 5-star, 5 diamond coaches. Which, by the way, when I first heard this last year, I was like, there's no way I'm going to have 5 diamond coaches on my team last year. But then I looked at the numbers and I was like, no, I need to be working for this now and push for it now. Like I'm going to have that because it made a difference in how this year has gone. So I just want to encourage you, even though if you feel like this is far off, you need to keep this in your vision and in your mind frame, because as you run with this business, this is really what, like my corporate mentor at Beachbody that I have, this is what, every time we talk about this, she brings this up and she says, where are you at? Where's your elite goal guide? How are you doing in it? So, okay, category number 2, elite personally sponsored coaches, personal volume points. Okay, now this is something new that they just added this year. So you earn 1 elite point for every 500 points in total personal volume from all your new personally sponsored coaches in 2017. So any coach that I have signed in 2017 will count towards this category for me. So if I have a new coach that last month produced 1,000 PV in the month of May, that would give me 2 points because 500 goes into 1,000 2 times. So that would give me 2 points in this category for just that one coach. If I had another coach that also did 1,000 in personal volume in the month of May, I would get another 2 points for that coach to give me a total of 4 points for that category for that month. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's that category. So they're saying the earlier you have a coach enrolled, the longer they contribute to this category. So they contribute for month after month. So anybody that I signed in 2017, in January, I get points from them producing volume for the whole entire year. So someone that you just sign in November, that's great, perfect, wonderful, but they'll only count for your elite points for in this category in November and December of that year. And then it goes back and starts over again. But they'd still count for category 1 because it's the elite points are for the 2 years, the current year and the year before, for coaches that you signed that you can earn in category 1 points for. Okay, and then category 3, this is also one that they kind of tweaked around recently this year too. You earn 1 elite point for every 500 points in total personal volume from all your new personal 2017 customers combined. So as you're rewarded for bringing in new customers. So if you bring in, if you sell, let's say that you hit Success Club 6, okay, and you had an average of 135 volume points from each of those people in 1 month. That would be, if you had 3 new customers, 130, whatever that would be close to 400 personal volume points. So you're gonna get points eventually adding up for those people as they continue to order and stay on Shakeology and all that kind of stuff. So that's how you earn points in this category. Category 4. This is the one that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get this one. But now I see what they mean. Like the first year I was like, my number is like puny. And then this year I'm like, oh, now I see how it builds as your team builds. And as your team starts having teams, it really does start to increase, bit by bit. So category number 4, you earn 1 elite point for every 10,000 point increase in ATV, advancement team volume, from 2016 to 2017. So last year, I ended the year with our team. I'll have to look at it. I'll show you in a second. I think it was like, I'm just going to go over there now. Maybe 70. Nah. Let me find it. Whatever it was, I got 1 point for every tens of thousand it was. So if it was like 70,000 in ATV that my team produced, then I would get 7 points in that category. But this year, I have to produce, in order to get points in that category, I would have to, then this is where it gets tricky. That's why I was saying Melanie Mitro is amazing, because she's been doing this. She probably has millions in ATV, like not even kidding. But so last year, if I earned 70,000 ATV, I don't get any points in that category until I exceed that category by 10,000. So I wouldn't get any points in that category until this year I hit 80,000 ATV. I get one extra point because I exceeded it by 10,000 for this year. So I'll show you how that works in just a second. So that's how the points work. I know it's confusing. I had to sit down and really study this, and I still have to sit down and study it. But that's how that works. So I'm going to show you practically how that works, and how this is really amazing that our team is so new. And look, so elite ranking for our team right here is 128 out of 400,000 coaching teams. That's incredible. That's absolutely astounding and incredible. So highest paid rank in the current month, Diamond Coach for me. Oh yeah, I was right. Previous year's ATV. So this is last year, the total volume at the end of the year, at the end of December 31st, 2016, our team Elevate Empire, had a total of 77,000 volume ATV volume points. Okay. Just this year, at the end of May, the team has done 55,000. So do you see how we're almost caught up to where we were at the end of the year last year in May. Does that make sense? So, but I don't have any points in this category, in the incremental ATV category, because I haven't exceeded it by 10,000 yet. Okay. So once I hit 87,188 in team volume points, then I'll get a point towards our elite points right here. Okay, so that's one of the categories. So ATV is just, it'll explain it here. It's the advancement team volume you earned in the current year to date. This was the last year. And another thing that I'm glad I clicked on this to remind me to tell you this. So for ATV, it's the total amount of personal volume produced by all coaches in your first 3 direct lines of sponsorship. So that would be my personally sponsored coaches, a coach underneath them, and then a coach that would be underneath them. And then after that, it doesn't count towards my personal advancement team volume. So that's why coaches can't just come in and be elite year after year without adding to their team. I mean, they could still have tons of volume and still be making tons of money, but they wouldn't be elite because they wouldn't be adding to their team every year and getting points in new categories for their coaches and the new coaches in the last 2 years. So, and here, personally sponsored coaches who advanced to Diamond in 2017, 0. I know this number is going to change very soon because I have some of you that are so close. Personally sponsored coaches who advanced to Diamond in 2017 and who were paid last month, that will show there. Rank advances by personally sponsored coaches to 1-star through 5-star Diamond in 2017. They have added to this, and you also get more points towards your elite ranking as coaches advance now to 1-star through 5-star Diamond. So that's kind of cool. And then they also are giving points for personally sponsored coaches who newly achieved team leader status in 2017. So this is team leader status is not easy. I just hit it for the first time 2 months ago, and I lost it last month, and now I'm back to team leader. It's tricky, but it's like something to really shoot for. So it's just a way to know that you're growing your business. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. So it tells you premier points and elite ranking points. So incremental ATV, right now I told you I'm at 0 because we still have not exceeded what we did last year. We're going to, not worried about it. personally sponsored coach PB. So you guys have been rocking it and hitting Success Club. So our team is just like rocking it. So we're already at 13. 13 in personal volume. That's just in personal volume. Let me turn this chat on. Can you explain team leader a little bit more? Yes, I will do that in just a second. Thank you, Katie. That's a good question. Personally sponsored coach PV. So my personally sponsored coaches in 2017, I've got 13 points in that category for, people earning those points. Customer PV. So I have 18 points in this category. You max out at 25. So this means that I have customers that have started with me in January or after that are continuing and have been producing volume for me because they're continuing on Shakeology, or these are from new orders. Okay. Personally sponsored coach Success Club. This literally my mentor at Beachbody was like, you have the most amazing team. I was like, I know. Because look, this is from May and we're almost capped out in this category because you guys are rocking Success Club. So, and since I've hit Success Club and we've had so many of you hit Success Club, we're almost maxed out in this category already, which she said is unheard of. Elite ranking leadership points. Okay, this is another new one that they added. So this is the one that I was telling you about. Like if a coach advances from 1-star to 5-star diamond, then you get more points in that category right there. So right now, as of the end of May, we have a total of 77 premier or elite ranking points. The 200th coach in the business only has 62. So as you can see, our team is way, way, way ahead of the 200th coach, which if you are one of the top 200 coaches in the business and you are elite, Beachbody gives you a $400 bonus check every single month in 2018. So that's another huge reason to be in the top 200. Not only that, but if you are an elite coach, you also automatically, if you hit Success Club every month, in 2018, I believe you get a $100 bonus for sure every single month. And then you also, on top of that, once you're 2-star, you start getting team pool bonuses. So, which if you haven't seen those, it's a great reason to shoot for hitting, let's see, I thought I had it right here, but I don't. But literally, once you hit, because if you were to hit 5-star, you get the 5-star pool bonus plus the 2-star pool bonus. So you're going to be getting like a $5,000 bonus quarterly. If you hit 10-star, you get the 10-star pool bonus plus the 5-star pool bonus plus the 2-star pool bonus. So you're getting like $20,000. If you're a 15-star diamond coach, they get upwards of every quarter. They get like $50,000 bonuses every quarter. Like insane. So it pays to build your team. It pays to be elite. It pays to really pay attention to these things now, because as you build your business, it may feel far off, but I felt that way last year. And now I'm like, oh, I actually could see this happening. So it can happen. It takes work and it takes time. And I've told many of you this. A lot of times people say that it takes 3 years to really get your teeth into this business. And I've found that to be true so far. Year 1 was, hard, but good. Year 2 is building. It's really, really building. This month has been my hardest month yet. Last month was hard. This month has been even harder. I'm honestly for me, it's been a struggle. No one wants to say yes. I've gotten so many no's, but that's okay. Because I know I love this business. I committed to be here for 3 years and I'm going to stick it out because I love it. And I want to help as many people as I can. Yes, that's Katie. Exactly. She said that's a lot of reasons to work hard. Yeah. And that's what I love about Beachbody. Everybody is rewarded for working hard. Whether it's hitting Success Club, you get rewards for hitting Success Club. You get rewards for, hitting ranks, or, there's just so many incentives. So, and you'll see that even at Summit, you'll be like, oh my gosh. It's so much fun. Okay. So team leader, and then I'll open it up to questions and, we'll get you out of here. So team leader, let me actually share my screen with you and I'll show you how team leader works, how they all work. So you can find where you're at on the leadership ladder, and that's what that is, the leadership ladder. If you go to just your main coach online office, and you go here to the leadership ladder, okay? So, so right now, this is where it'll tell you, it'll say team leader, team builder. And so last month I hit team leader, and you have to hit certain benchmarks in order to hit the ranks. I mean, the rungs on the benchmarks, or rungs on the ladder. Sorry, I'm like out of it today. So they're telling me my next rung that I want to shoot for is organizational leader. And this is what I would have to hit to get there. So they're telling me how much I'd have to make in commissions, Success Club I have to hit, what my highest paid rank would have to be, how many personally sponsored coaches with at least one Success Club point I'd have to have, what my week leg volume would be, which, oh my gosh, I feel like I don't know how that would happen. I mean, that is crazy at this point, but I know it will happen as we build. And then I'd have to have 2 coaches on my team that would be team leaders as well. So this is probably for more someone like Kelly Jimenez, Team Hard Hitters. She's going to be she's going to be an organization leader because she has such a big team and she has coaches that are growing, and her volume is huge. Like, it's absolutely ginormous because she has like 1,500 coaches underneath her in her downline. So that's kind of how that all works. I was so excited to see my week leg volume get above 5,000 last month, because that's what you have to hit in order to be a team leader. So it's just exciting, because I think it was literally at the beginning of this year, I think it was at like 500 for a month. So to see like growth happening is really exciting. So I say that to you guys to encourage you that there's like a point as you continue to stay faithful in the business. There's this point where you start to see things start to work and your faithfulness pay off and your teams start to grow and their teams underneath you start to grow. And it's like so exciting. So I couldn't see that last year, but I see it now and it's so exciting. So I want to encourage you to keep pushing and keep going, because it is so worth it. And I am so thankful for each of you. And I mean, like, this team, I brag about you guys all the time, because I'm like, I just have so many women on this team that like not only love what they do, but they love people, genuinely love people and care about people. And that's exactly what I prayed for. So I'm just like so excited for what is in store for all of us. So anybody have any questions about Elite or any of that? You can unmute yourselves too and ask if you want to. No? Everybody good? I know that was a lot, huh? Does anybody have anything? You're good? Or you have a question, or you're good? Oh, she's frozen. I love it. She's frozen in the thumbs up. You're frozen in the thumbs up. Oh, you're good. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, I hope this was helpful. And I know it was a lot of information, but I felt like the best place to do it was going to be on a call, just so I could address it all. So you could go back and rewatch it or send your coaches to it, because I know they're commonly asked questions. So if it's okay, I would love to pray over you guys before we hop off our call, and then let everybody be off on their way. Is that okay with everybody? Lord, I thank you so much for today. I thank you for these wonderful women, God, that encourage me more than they know, just in the way that they are faithful to help others and to continue to seek freedom in their own lives in so many ways. And Lord, I just want to thank you for them. I pray that your love would overwhelm them, Father. I pray that you give them peace in the areas of their life that feel unpeaceful or unsettled. Lord, I pray that you would put your hand of blessing over their businesses, God, that you would give them favor, Lord, not to make tons of money, God, but to meet their needs where they're at, God. And then the monetary blessings would come from that, of course, Lord, but that's not our goal, Lord. It's to glorify you and to lift you high and help other people. And so I just pray that your hand of favor would be upon them, God, to help as many people, God, as they can. I pray that our team would grow and grow and grow, God, not for our glory, but for yours. And I want to pray for Beta and Heather and Kelly and Katie and every other coach who is not on this call, Lord, that is so precious to me and that I pray for often. God, I pray that you would just be with them, Lord, that this month would be a month, God, that you would just continue to open up their hearts and their lives to freedom found in you, Lord, through their body and soul and mind. And I know that it's not by accident, God, that you ask us to love you with all of our heart, with all our soul, with all our mind, and with all our strength, God. And so I pray that you would help us to do that, Father, through our businesses, through loving people, through our challenge groups. I pray that lives would be changed in our groups, Father, and that we would point them towards you, Lord, even if they don't know that's who it is. I pray, God, that you would help us to plant seeds in people's hearts, God, for your glory. Thank you for these women, and thank you for those that aren't on the call. Keep everybody safe, and pray that you would just help us to have a great week, great month, and just enjoy the beautiful weather. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. You're welcome. You beat us. All right. Feel free to reach out, you guys. I'm going to be off of any sort of internet connection, as I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to the mountains down in Colorado Springs somewhere. Kelly, you probably would know where I'm going. But and my mom just told me, she's like, there's going to be no internet access. And so I was like, that's kind of tricky when you start a challenge group. And then so anyway, so if you don't hear from me this Saturday, very much this Saturday through Tuesday, that's why. But I'm going to try to check in when I can. So
Thank you, Margot.
you're welcome. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Okay. Bye.